Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can integrate Tailwind CSS into your React.js project created using Vite. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so to start off, I have my terminal opened up inside of a directory called YouTube, which is where I'm going to be creating my React.js project. And to get started with creating it, I can just do npm create Vite, and I'll do @latest. And what this will do is it will prompt us with some questions on our project. So here, for the project name, I'll just type in Vite Tailwind CSS video, hit enter, and then it's going to ask you to select a framework. Now, by the title of this video, we're going to be using React, so I'll just go ahead and select React. And then it's going to ask you for the variant. So if you guys want to use JavaScript, you can go ahead and do that, but I want to use TypeScript, so I'll just go ahead and click TypeScript. And once the directory has been created for Vite Tailwind CSS video, all you're going to do is copy this first command to change into that directory, and then you're going to run npm install to install all of the dependencies. And if you give it a few seconds, it'll complete installing. And now what I will do is just open this up inside of VS Code. So I'll do code dot, and then we'll get to running this development server in a bit. So I'll open this up, and I'll just make my screen a bit bigger so that you guys can see. And here you can see that we have the Vite code right here. Okay, so I have my VS Code window with the code on the right and the Tailwind CSS documentation on the left. And what we're going to be doing is following along with this documentation to set up our Tailwind CSS configurations inside of our React.js app created with Vite. So first of all, it tells us to create a Vite project using the React template, and we've already done that right here, so we can skip this step right here, this first step. The next step would be to install Tailwind CSS and its necessary dependencies. So to do that, I'm just going to open up my terminal, and inside here I'm just going to type in npm install -D to ensure that it is a dev dependency, Tailwind CSS, post CSS, auto prefixer, and then after we complete this command, we're going to have to run the next command, which we can just do with npx Tailwind CSS init-p. And then this will create the Tailwind CSS config file along with the post CSS config file, which we can see right here and right here. And then the next step is to configure the template paths inside of our Tailwind CSS configuration file. So I'll just open this file up, and I'm just going to remove everything here. And then what you can do is over here in the documentation, which you can access through this URL, it has the code that we're going to need. So we can just copy it and paste it, and all it's doing is appending these values into this content array. All right. And then after this, we're going to need to head on into our index.css file inside of our source directory. And over here, what we can do is remove all the code here and just copy these 3 lines. And this will override our application CSS with the Tailwind CSS. Okay. And the next step is to run our dev server. But before we do that, I'm going to head on into app.js or app.tsx. And inside here, you can see that there's already some boilerplate code created with Vite. And I'm just going to remove all of this first, as well as these variables and this. And we're just going to run it. So if we do npm run dev, it will start up the development server on localhost at port 5173. So I'll just access this link, and you can see that we have a blank page because we don't have any content being rendered. So if we want to render some content, Tailwind has some code right here that can demonstrate the Tailwind styling. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it into our app.tsx file, and you can see that we have hello world being displayed using Tailwind components. So now we've officially set up Tailwind CSS within our React project, and in the next clip I'm just going to show you how to build a basic card component using Tailwind. Okay, so to proceed with building the component, I'm going to just remove the code right here. And what I'll do is just do a return, and then first off, we're going to render a div, and this will be the parent div or the container div. And I'll just give it a flex call, items, center, justify item center, and have it take up the full height of the screen. And then inside of this div is going to be the container for the actual card. So we'll just do a padding of 3, a background green of 400, and let's just make this rounded. So we'll do rounded XL and then shadow 2XL. And what this does is it creates this circle right here, which right now just has a padding of 0.75 rem or 12 pixels, and a background color of green 400, which you can see is RGB 74, 222, 128, and then a rounded of 12 pixels along with a drop shadow as well. And inside of this, we're just going to render some text. So for the text, we'll just use a p tag, and I'm going to give the p tag some styling as well. But before I do that, let's just enter in some content. So let's just call this Tailwind CSS demo. And you can see the text being displayed right here. And we can see that the card is having this effect where it's sort of levitating off of the page. And that is because of the shadow 2XL property. And for this actual text itself, let's give it some styling. So we're going to make this white. So we'll do text white. And then give it a font of bold so that it's bolder. And then give it an underline, and then let's just do an underline offset of 4. And just to make the letters more spaced out, let's just do tracking wider. So here you go. So we've successfully created a card using Tailwind CSS because we first set up our React project using Vite, then we installed all the Tailwind dependencies and added all the configurations for it. And once we completed that, I'm just kind of giving you an example as to how Tailwind can be used to create components for your web pages. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful in helping you set up your React project with Tailwind CSS and in providing you an example of how you can utilize Tailwind to create components for your user interfaces. If you enjoyed or learned something, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section or send me an email if you'd like to talk to me privately, and I'll do my best to reply to you. I hope this was informative, and with that being said, have a nice day.